Regulatory changes governing the healthcare industry have prompted massive shifts in the business models of primary care physicians. For some, the changes have meant joining the staff of a large group practice or hospital. Other doctors are turning to an entirely new business model, often dubbed concierge medicine. The concierge model typically involves patients paying an annual fee in exchange for a more personalized healthcare experience and more regular access to their physician. We sat down with Dr. Simon Douglas Murray, an internist in Princeton, New Jersey, who works with a firm called MD VIP. We asked him to discuss how life as a concierge doctor differs from traditional practice.
Oh, well, it's quite different. Although I'm as busy as ever, I like to say I walk through the day now rather than run through the day. Not having to see 30 patients a day really has made things easier, but it's no walk in the park either. I'm as busy as ever, really, but just walking through the day rather. You know, in medicine, about 10% of the patients give you about 90% of the problems. That's true, I think, in general. Now, I have a practice that's not 3,000 patients anymore, so 10% of 500 is a lot smaller number than 10% of 3,000. Having said that, though, this is the main reason I did it. If you ask physicians in practice what's the major problem that they have with the way they practice, they will say almost unanimously, I don't have enough time with the patients. All doctors feel that way, and all primary care doctors feel that way. And I was no exception. And now I have the time to spend with the patients, and that is one of the greatest benefits. I schedule the appointments in such a way that we have time to have built into our schedule emergencies where people can come in. It's a great luxury to be able to say to someone who's sick, come right over, we'll see you right now. It's nice. Or you're going to be late by half an hour? Sure, not a problem, we'll fit you in. Now, I used to do that, or try to do that, but if you have 30 patients a day and it's Monday morning and the first guy is late, you're already 15 minutes late, and by the end of the day it's going to translate into 2 hours. And it's just such a lack of pressure now. I don't have to pressure the patients because they have time to tell the story, tell their own story, and that's really important. You know, one of the main things about that in my experience is that if you allow people to talk long enough, they'll tell you what's wrong. I can cite one example where in my old practice, where I was in a hurry, as I normally was, and a man came in who I knew fairly well, and he started to tell me about his headache. And he spoke to me about that he had a headache, and before he could really finish the first sentence, I was asking him, well, what part of your head hurts? How long have you had it? How would you rate the intensity, 1 to 10? Does it radiate anywhere? Does it hurt when you chew? And I started firing these questions at him, and he answered them all. And so I wrote him a prescription for a pain medicine, a prescription for a CAT scan, a prescription to go see a neurologist, and away he goes. He called me up later and he said, you know, I just have to tell you, you didn't give me a chance to tell you. The reason I actually came was because my father has a brain tumor and I was scared I might have one too. I don't need all this stuff. And I realized, you know, I didn't give him a chance to tell me. I was more interested in my agenda. Now, I only speak for myself in this regard, but I try not to do that. I try to sit and listen, let the story unfold itself, even if it's convoluted. And sometimes, very often, the right answer will appear. That's a great freedom. And I think all doctors want to do that. They just don't have the chance. If you have 6 people in the waiting room and you're on schedule, you're just pressured. And at least I was. And I think that's a great freedom. The other freedom is to arrange schedules to meet the needs of the patients. If somebody needs to take longer, you can spend longer. If they don't, you can take shorter. But we can accommodate people because not everybody fits the mold of a 15-minute visit.